Oh, y'all want me to sing? I guess I'll sing a little bit for the cafe. Let's get this going, y'all. Good morning, y'all. It's rise and shine, y'all. Grab your coffee cup. Come spend some time. I appreciate y'all being here. I know it's early, the start of a new day. Let's get it. No need to worry, it's Local Cafe. You damn right. Rise and shine, baby. Wake and bake. Go ahead and take a puff. Clear out your mind, baby. Just take a break. Sit on down, y'all. Local Cafe. Oh, you right. Chill out with us today. Hope everybody is having a beautiful morning. Hope we're all awesome. It is an amazing day. It is Tuesday. How about this guitar riff? I can't hit this note. Cafe. Oh, you're damn right. All right, let's get this show started, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show with the hottest, the realest, and the boldest takes in the entire Local universe. You're watching that show right there, Local Cafe. Can karaoke win? We're going to get to that. We are going to get to that in my non-singing ass. I hope we're all doing awesome. Hope we're all doing beautiful. It is an amazing Tuesday morning. I have been up way too early, but it's all good. Northern Law. Thank you for that one. So we're going to dive right into this thing. No, this is not clickbait. Sweet Tea is gone. We're going to get into that one. But before we do, let me bring in my awesome, beautiful, and amazing co-host, Miss Beans. Miss Beans, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing pretty well with all things considered. So a lot has happened yesterday, and we're going to dive into it.
Damn right we are. But they're already talking about it in the chat. Grim and Nightmare back together. Isn't that a fucking W?
Good for them.
That is awesome. That is amazing. So, as the title says, guys, Sweet Tea is no longer with us. There was an executive decision made by Killer Keemstar himself to remove her. And we got another intern with us. More of a fan favorite, if you ask me. A woman that is awesome. She's amazing. Very kind. We've all met her before. Great vibes. What do you think? Hello.
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought you were talking to the audience. I thought we were doing like a sitcom. Like, what do you guys think? No, I am excited. I'm excited because if you know this person is hyper positivity, just a ball of kindness, and I would love that for Cafe. I think that would be like a nice addition because I feel like I don't want to be rude or like slighty in any sort of way, but she talks, okay? That's something I need. I need somebody that talks, and Sweet Tea was just not like in it. You know, she needed more time, and I do understand that, but this is a morning show. This is something where we need somebody to bounce off of. And, you know, it just wasn't working out. And that's the way that Keemstar works, right? So with Nightmare and with Grim, or at least I knew that they were going to be back together eventually, right? Because they are the perfect pairing, right? They work with each other very well. They're, you know, yin and yang in many aspects. So in general, like, I knew that was going to happen. You just have to go through the Keemstar effect where he does something, it doesn't work out, and he'll eventually, like, rewind.
You described that perfectly, the Keemstar effect. That is awesome. I love the way you worded that. But yeah, we're going to bring him in here. Guys, you know her. She's an amazing person. Her name is Wonder Woman. So, Wonder Woman, let's go ahead and get you in here. How are you doing this morning, Miss Wonder Woman? Hey,
Good morning, guys and Jen. Good morning.
good morning. How you doing, Miss Wonder Woman? Is all well with you today?
All is well with me today. Oh, Ken, I just love you singing that song. I'm in the background and I'm going like this.
Some of our fans don't think I can sing too well, but damn it, they asked for it. I gave it to them. So, welcome to the cafe for the second or third time, I think.
Yes,
I think it's
yes,
second.
yes. Thank you very much for having me. I'm your new intern. So it's a pleasure to be here with the beautiful beans and the wonderful Ken.
1 second. 1 second.
Lady Nerd Artist Super Chatted $20. Sweat tea actually gone. Eyes emoji. Thank Keemstar. Can please remember Mr. Sir take a shot of ketchup. Devilish face emoji. Mazer also would like to remind you of the Great Crunch Agreement of LQ Discord. Welcome Wonder Woman. Red heart emoji. Red heart emoji. Red heart emoji.
RZ the Legend for the 4.99. Yeah, Sweet Tea basically just got paid to sit here. Wonder Woman is superior choice. So the internship is unpaid. That was announced. So Sweet Tea was just trying to learn, do some stuff. But before the fans say I scammed them again, let me go ahead and do this real quick. So, Beans, if you want to carry a conversation, I will be right back.
Yes, Wonder Woman, you're part of the cafe, at least as an intern so far. And I just want to read you this message because we just sit in silence very awkwardly. But Lady Nerd Artist with the 20, thank you so much, Lady Nerd Artist. Sweet Tea actually gone, eyes emoji. Thank Keemstar. Can please remember Mr. Sir take a shot of ketchup with a devil emoji. Mazer also would like to remind you of the Great Cranch, which is ketchup and ranch mixed together, which doesn't sound very appetizing. Agreement of the LCU Discord. Welcome, Wonder Woman. And she put heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. So this seems like a very positive and pleasant and welcome change in the LCU. And I think that we are all excited to see what you have to bring to the cafe. You were here before I was. You were here with Ken and Foot Girl, the original Miss Hayes of the Discord. And that was, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes. Then something happened. Then everything changed. But how does it feel to be back in the cafe?
It's wonderful. It's actually 2 a.m. in the morning here. So it's like brutal, but be back. And yes, Beans, you're absolutely right. I was here on the first episode, the very first episode of Cafe, and it's come such a long way, honestly. It's come such a long way. So, yeah. What
I'm
have
just
you
looking
got
at
there?
Kenton over here.
What have you got, Ken? You've got a blue bottle.
Not the
What's he
cranch.
doing? Oh.
I think he's mixing up the ranch and the ketchup.
Beans, what's Ken got to do with this?
So the newest version or season, I guess, of the cafe has been a very interesting one. A lot of people found out that, oh, not the A1. So as you can see, he's holding a bottle of A1. Ken absolutely hates A1, and people found this out, and so they decided to torture him with making him either take a shot of it, chug it, put it on random food. So we have a couple people in the Discord that specifically pay pigged in order to have him do what he's doing right now. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Well, this is a cafe, and that sure is a pick me up. You, his background even fell over because of
He's
just
taking
how
the
Exactly. He has a visceral reaction to Cranch. And then we have people in the chat saying Crunch for Kronk because he looks like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove and things like that. Cranch.
goodness.
Yeah, I don't like the word cranch. It makes me cringe. Cranchy cringe for crunch. Kronk? I don't know. It sounds like a tongue twister of some sort. Sunshinery put it best when they said, Ken, that's a way to wake up. Exactly.
Oh,
I think we're just trying to put a little pep in Ken's step today, this morning.
nice. You're roboting, Ken.
Roboting, super bad roboting. Well, while you figure that out, we're going to be here. We'll hold it down. We'll hold down the cafe for you. But as you were saying, we were having our own little conversation while Ken was doing his thing. But you were talking about maca. What is that? I never heard of that before.
A mocha, it's hot chocolate and coffee together.
Ooh.
So you got the coffee. It's delicious.
That sounds lovely. That sounds like very sweet, but also like the bitterness that you can get from coffee every once in a while. It sounds like a very nice balance. But while Ken is figuring that out, let me just pull up the docket real quick. This is like
I
a
love
perfect
your background, Beans.
my background.
I love your background. Oh, it's so girly with the moo cows and the pink. See my pink? Yeah. And it's like the good thing about being on your own is that you can have everything that you want. Do you know what I mean? All the girlies stuff. It's so cool.
It's super cool. But real quick, let me switch this over. I was like, oh, well, now I have to set up all my stuff. Yay! Okay, Lolcow Cafe. I love this little background thing that I did. So Koala says Kronk okay, looked like it hit his eye. Pull the lever, Kronk. He's probably fine. We got a pay pig, so that kind of like levels out like pain and punishment. I mean, punishment
like
and
that.
reward. But yeah, so my background is like a very pink girly cafe because I feel like that represents me more than like the dark classic sort of background that Ken has. Some people say we should have the same background because it can seem like we're in the same cafe. Ken says that he'd rather us have like different backgrounds because it represents us a little bit more. So, Lady Nerd Artist, I forgot to mention this. Is it a green screen, Beans? Yes, it is a green screen, of course. This is very pink and girly, and my eyeballs would probably burn if I would have to go into a cafe that is actually this pink. But it's also very lovely.
I love it.
What was I gonna say?
I would walk into that cafe. If I walked past that shop and saw that, I'll be in there for sure.
Well, we were
I'll be
talking.
curious.
Yeah, we were talking about the Hello Kitty Cafe, the van. Remember what I was talking about with my friend? Well, they actually are going to have a Hello Kitty Cafe in what is going on, bro?
I would
hope-
keep talking, Beans, but from what you're doing.
Yeah, so apparently something happened. I don't know if on his end he accidentally ended the stream or something. On my end, it's still going.
Mhm. You know what, Beans? I researched quite a lot of stuff up. I can't wait to see. Are you guys still viewing the eagles, the little eagle babies?
Yeah, so the
Oh,
little
good,
eagle
because
babies. What?
Oh, that's so good because I looked up some information about those cuties, and I don't know, and just about um, the babies and the mama and the papa. I learned a little bit about them. Jackie
Jackie and
Jackie's
Shadow?
the girl, is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Jackie and Shadow. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what they look like now.
Yeah, so Jackie and Shadow are the mama and papa. Sunny and Gizmo are the little babies, but the babies are not so baby anymore, right? So it's very interesting because we basically started from zero. We saw them from like little baby eggs to being not full grown, but it's like they're kind of like teenagers now, right? So they're kind of like teenage little eagle babies. The thing that made it kind of sad is that it used to be three. It used to be three little babies, and now there's only two. That is like the devastation that we did experience. But other than that, yeah, it's been a lovely experience. Actually, now that I think that we're back on air, maybe kind of sort of, let's actually check in on them because I think that would be awesome.
I'd love that.
Yeah. So, Big Bear, Bald Eagles, Jackie, Shadow, Sunny, Gizmo. Let me share this real quick. Up. Nope, that's the wrong one. It's always just a flustering experience whenever like things go wrong and then you have to like last minute try to figure things out.
You're
But
good.
yeah,
You're
so
doing well, Beans.
if you see over here, they may look huge and they may look like the mom and dad, but these are the babies. The mom and dad are not even like in frame right now. They probably flew off to find food or something of the sort. But
Oh, there. Oh, look.
I got it right on the money. So this seems like Jackie, if my prediction is correct. This seems like Jackie. Jackie just came in with some food, and now the babies are going to eat. So we tuned in just in time to see them have their little lunch break, I guess, since, yeah, this is around kind of sort of lunch.
What have they got? A fish?
Yeah, it looks
some type of fish.
It looks like some sort of fish. Let's go back just a little bit and see when they first wake up. So this is how they usually, cuddle together. They're huge. They're basically taking up the whole nest. I wonder how they all sleep together. Let's see if we can actually. Oh, so usually the babies sleep over here and either the mom or dad will do some surveillance and make sure that they're okay. But so far, they're just having their little lunch break. And I think that's lovely.
That is so cool, Beans. You top job. Look at that. We got to view Mama come in with some food. Woohoo.
Exactly. So a lot of people are saying it's actually breakfast in Cali. I forget that the park where they're at is actually in California. So right now it's 7 a.m. So it's breakfast. It's breakfast time for them. And if you haven't eaten breakfast, you probably should because that's a very important meal of the day. Other than that, we also have to do our very shameless plug. Very shameless plug. So we have the locale.co/pages/locale cafe. And if that's a little too much for you to type in, we also have it in the description. And I'm sure a mod can tune in and put in the link. So right here we have the butterscotch gourmet coffee, which is now around 25. Used to be 33. I'm glad that it lowered in price just a little bit. Makes it a little bit more accessible for those who, wanted to get a little taste of the butterscotch locale cafe. Then we have the Ken cup. If you don't get this in the biggest size, you're probably wrong. Because Ken has to be the big cup and I have to be the little cup. We have the I Can't mug and we have the Spill the Beans mug. We have the very, very comfortable hoodie. We have the two versions of the I Can't shirt. We have the original locale signature 2025 t-shirt. Usually we recommend people to get it in brown, right? Because it's coffee themed.
Yes.
But there are also other colors if you're not digging the brown. And then last but not least, we also have the hat. The hat, I like the hat. I'm not much of a hat person. If you can tell by how big my hair is, it's really difficult for me to fit my hair into a hat. But they don't show it here. But if you look at the little like lip part, this part, it is green underneath. It's green. And that's why sometimes I don't put it on because my green screen will cover it, and then it just seems like it's see-through. But yeah, it's a really
Right.
cool hat. Other than that, I hope Ken is okay. He has been having a lot of issues with his internet and personal issues, and that's why we're going to give him as much grace as possible. But because I don't think that you have access to the docket yet, right?
No, I don't think so.
That's completely fine. We'll just go a little bit, I'm not going to say off script, but we're going to do some improv, right? Because that's what you need to do whenever you're in show business. Let's talk a little bit about you. So last night, whenever Keemstar chimed into the Lolcow Cafe chat, the one that used to have sweet tea but has Ken and I and Keemstar, he's mentioned something about you and Twiggy for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that situation? Because I had no idea that like you and Twiggy were having like some sort of clash of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah, no, on the week, I think it was on the weekend, on Lolcow Live, Twiggy came on and basically spoke about myself, Roxy, and Savage, and was saying some misinformation about certain
Lady
behaviors
Nerd
at Fat
Artist
Camp.
super chatted
Real quick.
$20. Dear Ken and Cafe, I am writing from the warfront. I'm debating which cafe mug to purchase. I would like to also formally apologize for making Ken drink ketchup. He still has to, with mild hunger lady pull the lever cronk.
That was a long one, but thank you so much, Lady Nerd Artist. So Lady Nerd Artist said for the $20, Dear Ken and Cafe, I'm writing from the warfront. I'm debating which cafe mug to purchase. I would like to also formally apologize for making Ken drink ketchup. And in kind of like brackets or quotations, parentheses, that's a word, parentheses, they say he still has to, with mild hunger, lady, pull the lever cronk. So Lady Nerd Artist has been one of the top donators when it comes to making Ken drink the A1 sauce, making him drink ranch, making him drink the ketchup. In general, just some mild hazing when it comes to the cafe. But yeah, we're just having a little bit of a reboot when it comes to what's happening on the cafe. I know yesterday there were some people that didn't like the way that Ken presented the way that he carries himself on stream. Because this is the Lolcow universe, right? A lot of people expect sort of, I don't want to say hazing, I don't want to say punishment, but that's basically what's going on, right? Some people like others to shave their head or like spill some milk on them or like do all these weird things for money, and that's kind of expected at this point. But the way that it came across to a lot of people whenever he said, oh, well, our audience isn't stupid if they wanted to. Thank you so much, Octoling. Octoling just came in with the one Lolcow Cafe gifted membership. E05, thank you so much. Make sure that you thank Octoling for your gifted membership. And if you want to get into the Discord, just remember $5 more and you can get in. But I digress.
Nice.
So again, and you can always stop me if I'm talking too much. I think I'm just a little nervous.
It's okay. So you were talking about Ken with the doing things and the audience. You want with the audience with shaving the hair and things like that.
Yeah, so in general, he's not really for the whole like hazing, punishment, things like that. And he says if people truly enjoy our content, then they'll feel inclined to donate anyways. And that is true, but then I also have to remind him, hey, like the best stream that we had was when Grimm was on there and he was encouraging, like, I don't want to say e-begging, right? Because that seems like a very negative, like, connotation. But whenever Grimm was on here and he was like, hey, how many memberships we got? How many donations do we got so far? Let's try to reach that goal. Go, 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 go. Like, that little bit of encouragement can make a very, very big difference, right? When it comes to locale, trying to get more numbers, things like that. And that's why.
So the audience were very they loved that. They loved that. That was
It's very complicated because there's part of our audience that really loves Ken and don't want him to do anything that he doesn't want to do, right? But then there's the other part of the audience that's like, okay, well, he really does not like A1 sauce. Let's make him drink A1 sauce. So a very prime example of that is whenever we did the TTS recipe. So we got some ingredients from the chat. We got some ingredients from the chat if you did like a $20 TTS. And basically with all those ingredients, he had to make a meal. And there were some pretty good ones. Like there was, what was it? There was like steak, right? Everybody loves steak. Everybody loves chicken. But then there were some really weird ones like orange grouper, which is kind of hard to come by. And durian, which probably would have stinked up his entire house, right? So while that was happening, some people switched out some of the bad ingredients for better ingredients. So, for example, for the durian, some people changed it to bacon. So there are people that don't want to see Ken suffer, but then there's other people that's like, hey, like drinking ranch or drinking A1 sauce is not so bad, right? And that's like the balance that we're trying to maintain here in the cafe. And if I have to be the butt of the joke, right? Or if I have to do some punishments, or if I have to like just be a little silly every once in a while, I'm completely fine with doing that because I don't want Ken to do something that he doesn't want to do, right? We're supposed to bounce off of each other and we're supposed to pick up where somebody else leaves off, right? And that's why I think Ken and I are pretty good co-hosts. Now, when it came to the whole situation with being thrown interns with like no say at all, Sweet Tea, I think she can do very great things in the LCU. She's funny. Whenever she's not even thinking about it, she's funny. And I think that putting her on a show so quickly, I think it got to her head a little bit. She was very nervous.
understandable. Yeah. Maybe she felt the expectation, the very high expectation, and it maybe made her extremely nervous. But we'll see. She's on Milkers today, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. She's on Milkers with Savage, and Zeta's has moved to Aussie, right? Zeta Ray's moved to Aussie?
Apparently. So let me see if I can pull up some of these. Let me
So
see.
many changes.
So many changes. So many changes. So first, let's start off with, okay, some of these are timestamps and some of these are clips. So let me see what I can pull up quickly. So far, let's tune into the return of Mr. Keemstar, because that is very important. Very important. So here we have, why does Boogie look like an egg?
Oh, he shaved his hair off.
Yeah, so apparently, Egg Boy over here shaved his head, and he basically did it as a punishment to himself. If you know Boogie is a very anxious person, and I think he wanted to preemptively punish himself because if he does it himself, he feels like he has more power, but if Keemstar forces him to do it, then he probably wouldn't. I don't know. That's just my idea. But
I will say, Beans, I did like the mohawk that Boogie had. So that must have been hard for him to do that because he really liked that. And I know Desi liked his mohawk, his hair before. Let's run the movie.
Yeah, no, you have a point. So there has been many changes when it comes to Boogie and his look. I think it was the mullet first, and then it was like the mohawk, and then he kind of grew it out. Just in general, a lot has happened to Boogie. A lot has happened to him, but I think he wanted to do something to himself to kind of appease Keemstar. But let's see what Keemstar had to say about...
Beans.
Yes, ma'am?
Beans, before you go, spot. I'm just looking at that the screen on the video, can you spot something? Spot something on the door?
Oh, are you talking about the rewind and the lolcow?
Yes.
Those are so
He's
cute.
put them on. They are.
Yeah, so he's put
They
them
were at
on.
fat camp.
Yeah, they were at Fat Camp. I have my lolcow cafe one here and my little beans that I will show after the video. But those, just to give a quick little shout out, those are from Holy Moly. I haven't seen him in the Discord lately, but hopefully he will pop up and, get his kudos for his amazing work. But real quick, let's listen to this video about Keemstar coming back to the LCU.
Listen. Both of you are in big fucking trouble, all right? You're lucky that the fucking gods have spared you an hour, all right? I got my uncle on the way over here to repair the fucking cord that some asshole ran over. My internet cord's out. He's going to repair that fucking cord. My internet will be back up, and I am going to take over this fucking stream at about $9. At about 9, I am taking over this fucking stream. Rewind, just so you know, you're probably only doing 1 hour, because it's probably going to take me a lot longer.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. I will still vote to kick Sweat Tea off the island in a heartbeat. Hopefully her bobblehead act works better on moldy milkers. Love y'all. And I'm 50-50 for Ken. Smiley face emoji. Say Sweat Tea beans. Smiley face emoji.
So real quick, just so you can hear this message from Lady Nerd Artist with the 20. Thank you so much, Lady Nerd Artist. So she says, I will still vote to kick Sweat Tea off the island in a heartbeat. Hopefully her bobblehead act works better on moldy milkers. Love y'all. And I'm 50-50 for Ken. Say Sweat Tea beans. So that is from Lady Nerd Artist. If you're in the Discord, maybe you saw the conflict between Lady Nerd Artist and Sweet Tea, but they are not the bestest of friends. They are not the bestest of friends. So far, Lady Nerd Artist has been calling Sweet Tea Sweat Tea.
Oh no.
Exactly. So hopefully let me pull you up real quick while we talk about this. Hopefully they can resolve their issues. I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah.
Goodness.
There's
Sweat tea. Where does sweat tea come from? What's that sweat tea from?
Don't ask me. The Discord just came up with that and they just ran with it. A lot of people call her Sweat Tea. A lot of people call her names that I probably shouldn't say on air, but I think that's just because she came in a little too hot when it came to the LCU, and it's going to die down eventually, right? It's usually what happens. New people come in, the lights, the cameras, the action will get them a little bit hyped up, and they'll probably say something that they regret later on, but in general, I do hope the best for Sweet Tea, and hopefully Milkers is a better environment for her. And I hope they treat her well. Obviously, I hope they treat her well. Let's finish up this clip real quick. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Live for 2 hours once I get on this bitch. I don't give a fuck whose time I eat up.
Love
all
has
right?
4 paws,
You're in
paws,
trouble.
super chatted $20.
Twiggy's in trouble.
1, 2,
Rastov's
Boogie
in
King
trouble.
is coming for
no,
you.
don't
3,
tell
4,
me to hold
Roxy
on.
is
The
about to
fucking
hit the
person
floor.
donating can fucking hold on. All right?
Sorry.
Shit's going down when I get back.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
I thought if I did this, Keem.
Rastov gives me, I don't know how to explain it. Rastov gives me little kid energy sometimes. Maybe it's because the way that he dresses and the way that his hair looks right now. But Rastov, he has such a sometimes innocent way that he carries himself.
Yeah. What did I do?
What did I do? I didn't do anything. Exactly. Boogie and him are brothers that finally your dad comes home. There's peanut butter smeared on the wall. And you're like, well, he did it. I don't know why you're punishing me. That sort of thing. But yeah, so.
Somebody said in the Discord that it was almost like they're stepbrothers. Do you know what I mean? I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, but they come together,
That is a very good point. They are like stepbrothers. In general, they're going back and forth about this. They blame each other for things that the other person probably did. What else? Yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a ride the past couple of days where Keemstar was not here. I know it's only been like a couple days, but it feels like a month to me. I don't know why. It feels like a month.
Yeah, I agree with you, Beans. It does, honestly. It does. There's so much that is so much in a day it feels like a week, right? So I totally understand why you say that. I'm sure all the viewers in the audience probably think the same too. They think, oh, when we go back and it's like rewind and you start thinking about things that happened last week, it feels like, you could actually think, oh, was it only last week? Felt like a month ago.
Exactly. So much happens in one day, not only on the shows. There's multiple shows, right? For example, all these changes that just happened last night. So yesterday I went boxing with Grim. That's what we do now. We do the whole boxing. Oh, a little cutie in the background. Is that your dog?
Yes. That's Amber Lee.
Amberly. Hi, Amberly. They're getting so cozy and comfy over there just listening to their mama. But yeah, so a lot has happened yesterday. Yesterday, Grim and I went boxing for the first time in about a week. We took like a week break because of all the changes. He was very tired. So we finally went back. It was horrible. Grim, I'm pretty sure, almost vomited like 3 times because of how intense the boxing can be. But after that, we went back home, we took a shower, and we were talking, and he was talking to me about how discouraged he felt about the whole like Aussie situation, because it's not easy being on a show with somebody that you mesh with so well, and then all of a sudden you're taken and put on a completely different show with a completely different audience that have completely different expectations. A lot of the audience from Aussie did not receive I can't think of his name right now. Grim. Oh, real quick.
You can't
Lady
think of
Nerd
your
Artist super chatted
man's
$20.
name, Grim.
Sweaty tea bag, sweaty tea. All for one intern who expected to be LCL host first try. Can't run around name calling and lying on the Discord without any consequences. I will cease file once a real apology is made. Red heart emoji, cafe.
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Lady Nerd Artist is coming in hot. So for the $20, she activated TTS and she said, sweat tea, tea bag, sweaty tea, all for one intern who expected to be the LCL host first try. Can't run around name calling and lying on the Discord without any consequences. I will cease fire once a real apology is made. Heart emoji, cafe.
Well, Lady Nerd Artist, you're very vocal, Lady Nerd Artist.
She
I would
is.
I would like to meet this Lady Nerd Artist.
No, I no, for real. So Lady Nerd Artist is one of the dedicated cafe cult members. Something that I noticed about the cafe call is or the coffee call is whenever they spill the tea or spill the beans or whatever you want to say, they spill it hot. They have some really strong opinions. They do not have a filter, even though you have to have a filter for coffee. They do not have a filter, and they would just say whatever is on their mind. That's why I like the coffee cult so much, because they don't mince words. Whenever it comes to opinions, I think that, I don't know, the only way that I can think of it right now is like, it's very cunty. I don't know if you know what that means. If you ever watch like RuPaul's Drag Race, cunty. It's serving cunt. That's all they do. That's all they do, and it's so funny. For example, whenever they're on the Discord, usually they're arguing with people, and they're the people that have like the good comebacks, right? And I'm just over here like, these are my people. These are my members that know how to argue, and that's like the best thing ever. I find entertainment. You guys are supposed to find me entertaining, but no, I find you guys entertaining. Jump cut drama. Lucitina, freaking Black Belladonna, Lady Nerd artists. I'm naming a lot of girls, but there are other people. There are men too that know how to talk shit in the Discord. There's Gutsu Watsu. There's Darkness in the
Yes.
Void.
I know all of them.
Exactly. These are
Honestly.
prominent members that they have been in the Discord for so long, and they kind of like acquired. It's like an achievement of some sort. It's so funny. It's like an achievement of some sort where you go into the Discord and you know how to like talk shit and receive shit that it just pops up above you, and it's like, congratulations, you're like the new shit talker or something. I don't know, but it's so funny to me. It's so funny how people can get into the Discord and just be so unapologetically themselves. Lady Nerd Artist,
And
she
that's
is unapologetically a sweaty tea hater, apparently.
Well, fair enough. I mean, you like who you like, and I mean, hopefully, maybe Sweet Tea. Hopefully, will give the apology to Lady Nerd Artist that she's wanting. So,
I think.
Time with Sweet Tea on the show, Beans.
How was she?
How did you find it? How did you find it? With Sweet Tea on the show. I'm not sure if the chat want to hear about it, but I'm interested.
Well,
okay, let me put it in one word. One word.
I can't do that. I'm not a one word person. If I need I can't do that. I absolutely can't. If I'm going to speak my mind, I have to use all the words possible, because for me, there's so many times where people take something that I say and like twist it or like just take it out of context. So I like over explain myself to make sure that I come across the way that I'm trying to, because I don't want to come in like incorrect, right? So the thing about Sweet Tea, I want to give her as much grace as possible, because whenever she did come in, she had like appointments going on. She had the whole controversy about like the whole kid thing, right? And I don't want to take that and just put that all on her and be like, you're bad because of this. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Because things happen to you. It's not like you make things happen on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So those things about her being sick, her child controversy, like things like that, I'm not going to chalk that up to her being like a terrible person to have as an intern. Now, if I wanted to start drama, which I don't want to do, but if I wanted to start drama, she did go on Rewind, and before she was like officially an intern, I guess, she did go on Rewind, and apparently she was talking shit. She didn't want to be on the cafe. She wasn't even giving us a chance. She took like the whole controversy that I had with Keemstar, and basically she made a lot of assumptions about who I am as a person. And I think she took that and she like probably didn't want to work with me. That's fine. And why do I say that? Because I sent her a friend request whenever we were working together. I sent her a friend request.
Mm-hmm.
She never like accepted it, denied it, anything. She just like left me on red, basically. Which is fine. We don't have to all be friends in the LCU. We just have to be like co-workers, right? We can be cordial with each other, right?
Correct.
So Ken, I love Ken to death. He is very loving and understanding, and he
yeah, he is.
Northern Large said something kind of funny in the chat. Said Beans acting like she wouldn't box a one-armed person. No, I wouldn't. That's messed up. You go in your corner. But yeah, so wait, Black Belladonna.
I will say, Beans. Oh, sorry.
No. You do. What were you gonna say?
I will say though, Beans. I think that Sweet Tea doesn't like working with females. I don't know. Let's see how that goes. I don't think she likes working with females, or she doesn't. The reason why I say that is because she did the same thing to me.
Did she?
Well, in the Discord, there was a poll that was put up by Calamity, I think it was. Is it Calamity? Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, Calamity?
Calamity. And it was who do you think doesn't deserve a host role or something? And there was all of the people, new people, and I clicked on my one because you can see who voted for you,
Mhm.
right? And Sweet Tea voted for me. She was the only one that voted for me, and I haven't had any interaction with her or anything. So that got me thinking. And now you're sharing that about with you. So I'm thinking, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think that in general, she is pretty new when it comes to like LCU content. She did say that she came in with the whole controversy with Boogie faking cancer. And I think she only watched like the main shows, right? Like probably Rewind, probably Locale Live, maybe a little bit of Queens, but probably not the smaller shows because, the smaller shows were eating scraps compared to like the bigger shows. But yeah, for example, I think that everybody deserves to have their opinion, right? And don't take anything that anybody says to heart. That's like the number one
Ah.
rule of like being a host here. But she probably took the whole interaction because she did hop on that live after it happened. She did take that interaction with Keemstar and I, and she was like, oh, they're, what'd she say exactly? She said that like we're ungrateful, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're not even listening to what's happening because we never said no to Keemstar. I was just saying that this is something that I want to bring up to you. And it was just like amped up for the audience, and it was amped up to like start drama, and it was amped up for all these different reasons, right? But in general, like she's a fan, she's a viewer that became a host, and it's very apparent, right? Because still to this day, she says like, I always wanted to see Keemstar. I always wanted to work with Keemstar, right? But I don't think that she fully grasped what that entails.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I don't know if people know this, but the first day that it was like all the controversy in the Discord with Lady Nerd Artist specifically going at her, she wanted to quit. And we were talking to her like, don't quit now. Like, you have a lot to offer. And if you can't deal with like this small controversy, then you're probably not going to be able to deal with all the other things that come with it. Because there are a lot of people in the internet that will wish the worst upon you. That's something
Yes,
I had to
that's right.
learn.
And I've learnt too, Beans. I've learnt too. I mean, Beans, I've been around since December last year, so I'm not sure if the live chat know that, but yeah, I've been around for a long time, and it's been a good thing because I've learnt as well, much like yourself.
Exactly. But it's like women like us, we try to stay positive. We try to bring some energy.
Mhm.
And that's a recent thing for me, right? Because before I would be very comfortable. That's the word that I would use for myself. I was very comfortable with the way that we were doing things. And it seemed like I was low energy or like I wasn't putting my 110%. I might have thought that I was putting my 100%, but I needed to put 110% and really push myself through the uncomfortableness in order to try and be better, right? So people like us, we always try and we try to be positive, but there are people out there who wish you the worst.
Don't
and
like
they
that. They don't like that.
They don't like that, especially. Yeah. So it's very difficult for people like us. Like, we try to stay positive. We try to not put these labels on people. For example, like, I don't want to put a label on Sweet Tea. I think she has a lot to offer.
No.
I think that we just got off on the wrong foot. I think that just because she didn't do so well on Cafe, that doesn't mean that she won't do very well on Milkers or on a different show. Exactly. And maybe it was just how things were supposed to work out, because maybe we wouldn't be friends or we wouldn't connect or we wouldn't be cordial with each other on the same show, but maybe her having some distance between us like that, maybe we could be, like, I'm not going to chalk her up as a bad person.
Yeah, and she just needs to find her flavor, basically. I mean, maybe she likes to be a little bit more, like maybe the content in here in Cafe is probably not her style. So it's about her finding her style. Maybe Milkers might be a good place for her, but it's about Yeah, but I like what Keemstar's done. He's switched it up, and I think it's fantastic that Grimm is now back with Nightmare, because they have such a good kingsmanship, if you know what I mean. Like they just work so well together, right?
They're bros. They have like this
And
bro
why break
love
that up?
going on. Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
the fact that you pulled that apart. Keemstar knows this. Keemstar knows this because the way that Grimm acted during Fat Camp whenever he was fired, rehired, like this emotional roller
Yeah.
coaster. Like I know Grimm better than anybody in the LCU. And when I tell you that Grimm doesn't show a lot of emotion in his regular life, the fact that he showed so much emotion for Nightmare, that
Yeah.
tells you something. That tells you something. So them being apart and then coming back together, it's just the universe talking, right? This is how it's supposed to be from now until the end of time, right? But when it comes to the cafe,
That emotion that at Fat Camp when Nightmare got his job back, that emotion came through the camera, right? All of the people felt that, and it was just a beautiful thing. I mean, Bema Beans at Fat Camp, Night Grimm was so sad, wasn't he? He was so upset that Nightmare had been fired, and it was just a beautiful moment that Nightmare was rehired. It was wonderful. But yeah, I can't wait to see them back together. I'm hoping that Nightmare brings back Sister Butch because she is amazing. Love Sister Butch.
yeah, like this was the biggest thing about the new season and all the new changes. I think with the new season, everybody had like these expectations like, yeah, we're going to do this differently. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then as soon as the new season came, it was basically shat on, it felt like, because he tore apart good co-hosts. He switched times, which like that's not really an issue because we're always going to switch time to see like what's going to work and what's not going to work. Oh, real quick.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. I must say it, I don't think I could be a host like y'all. You guys have my respect. Everyone but Milkers, a lot of people offered help for tea. One's in chat, if watching a horror movie on the first date doesn't make you a serial killer, smiley face emoji.
So that was Lady Nerd Artist with the 20 again. So she says, I must say, I don't think I could be a host like y'all. It's not easy, let me tell you. You guys have my respect. And then in parentheses, everyone but Milkers. Damn. And a lot of people offered help for tea. One's in the chat, if watching a horror movie on the first date doesn't make you a serial killer.
She's awesome.
Lady Nerd Artist, she's coming in hot today. She's coming in hot like coffee. So we also have somebody in the chat that said Keem must feel embarrassed buying these fans equipment just for them to flip.
We'd have to ask Keemstar that. But I think Keemstar, you know what? I trust Keemstar. Keemstar has a very good intuition. He is, I think people need to trust him because he's very good at what he does. He's good at what he does. Beans, what's your take on that?
My take, I feel like things eventually work out. I think things eventually work out. At least that's what I tell myself so I don't go crazy. But sometimes there are things that happen that, you know, people don't expect. Like, for example, Keemstar bought equipment for Becky. Keemstar bought equipment for Becky. Keemstar bought equipment for Tina. And so far, that's been going very well. Becky, you can debate that every once in a while. You know, sometimes she has her moments. But they're the stars of the LCU, along with Billy and Xylee and other people. But when it comes to like these new people that come into the LCU, me personally, it's like
They should have their own equipment. They should come in prepared.
yes. if you want to be a host, you should have the equipment to be a host, right? Just like how Xylee says, if you want to bring in people to be a host, they should know OBS already, because that's already an issue that we've been having, right? And like, that's fine
Yeah.
if they mess up every once in a while with OBS, because there are a lot of scenes, there are a lot of little gears and gadgets that you have to press, like messing up every once in a while, that's fine, but no OBS, at least foundationally. The other thing is, it's like crypto. This is the only way I can put it. It's like crypto. You're investing in something and you don't know how it's going to go. The market can go up, the market can go down. Bull market, bear market, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But in general, it's like investing in crypto instead of investing in dividends, right? So
Yeah.
instead of investing in people that are already in the LCU, making sure that we can be more established and making sure that we can really kick off when it comes to like our shows and stuff like that. Instead of investing in
hit the ground
dividends,
running.
exactly. Instead of investing in dividends where there can be some give back, right? Because like we're already here, we're already kind of established, but like, work on the things that you already have. But investing in these people that you don't really know, you don't know if they're going to cut out for this, you don't know if they're going to quit after like the first or second day because of controversy that they've been involved with. It's very complicated and it can be very messy. And then I don't want, and I'm not saying this like anger Keemstar, but it's like I don't want him to feel disappointed because he feels like he gives and gives and gives and doesn't get anything back, right?
Yeah, I agree. But you know what? Let's see what happens today on Milkers. Let's see what happens today. So I do, Beans, I do like the change around. And I think it's great for all of the, sometimes it's nice. It's not like things get stale, but it's nice to have a freshness in certain areas, right? Would you agree with me, Beans? Like sometimes it's nice to just shake things up, bit of salt and pepper. I think it's nice, see how things go.
Sorry, somebody mentioned that
May
I
I
needed
say,
to.
oh, sorry, what
No,
was
you're
that?
good.
May I say, Beans, if we can, because you asked me about the Twiggy situation, and I'm not sure if the chat wanna know what the what the rest of that story was about. So basically, Twiggy said some things on LCL on the weekend about Roxy, myself, and Savage. It was basically on the lines of you were flirting with this person, you said that, you said this, and it wasn't true. And basically, Boogie called me, what did he call me? A desperate whore, which was such a horrible thing to say, just from what was said from Twiggy, and that it, and it's caused a bit of a King Scott and I stopped. Basically, I because King Scott was good friends with Twiggy, and from what I understand now, he's not, and I'm going to talk to King Scott today because I basically put a stop to us getting to know one another, me and King Scott. So so what we were trying to build together ended. It's basically what Twiggy said smashed it.
You shouldn't let somebody be the reason why, you shouldn't let anybody get in the way of your happiness. And this is not only for you, but this is for the audience, okay? If you need to put yourself first, do that. Because I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I'm the type of person that I want to see other people happy. But recently I had to learn that sometimes you have to put yourself first. Because sometimes there's people that are not like you. They're not going to think about like how you feel or how your situation is. They're just going to see it very like plainly, and they're going to think about them because like, oh, well, I know how I feel whenever I do this, like that sort of thing. So sometimes like, even though you're a giver, you have to take a little bit, and you shouldn't let anybody stand in the way of your happiness. So especially somebody like Twiggy, okay? Like I don't have a problem with Twiggy personally.
No, and it's fine. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, what happened at the end of that is King Scott and I are going to talk today. So
That's nice.
we'll talk today.
Communication is always
And
number one.
yes, it is. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. But we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you updated. But hopefully, Scott and I can we'll have a good talk today. Yeah.
Hopefully. And since you're an intern, that is your business. But hopefully, some good will come out of it, right? I think communication is probably number one when it comes to any sort of relationship. But when it comes to the whole Twiggy situation, this is going to be my piece. It's none of your business, bro. If people are freaking having a good time, if they're drunk and they like flirt with other people, or like some people are doing this, and I'm not saying that did happen or not, because like I barely was there. I was either doing some stuff behind the scenes, or I was trying to sleep, or I was having my own issues during fat camp, because fat camp was a whirlwind of emotions and stuff happening and everything. But what other people do is not your business at all. And the fact that he takes things that happen and he will like, I personally don't have an issue with Twiggy. He never done anything to me. I mean, there was like one situation, but it was like very minor. Like there was one time where he was on live, not on live, but he was live on, I'm pretty sure it was gaming or something. But he tried to say something like, oh, like Ken and Beans like broke part of my camera and blah, blah, blah. It's like, first of all, it was like dented. Second of all, it was an accident. Third of all, we offered to replace it. So I don't know why you're putting it out there like we're horrible people. That was the only thing. And like, to me, that's not even that big of a deal to like completely cut off somebody. But I don't like the way that he's been presenting himself lately when it comes to people I do like. I do like you. I do like, Grim.
You too, Beans.
Exactly. There's other people in the LCU. I know I said like, I'm supposed to say love, but I mean like in a work relationship aspect, okay? But
yeah.
But
I get what you're saying. And up until that point, Tookie, Beans, I hardly saw Fat Camp. He was busy with the producing. So yeah, it's just interesting that it went that way. But look, I don't have a problem with him. But like you say, I would really like to see the real Twiggy, just the real Twiggy, right?
Well, the thing is that Twiggy says that this is the real him. Like, for example, he says that like, oh, I always wanted to like get out of the LCU recently because like I'm bored. Or like he'll always have like a reasoning. Like stuff happens to him and he'll have like a reasoning of like why it happened the way that it did, instead of being like, well, yeah, this fucked up thing happened and now this is the consequence and like I didn't expect it, but whatever. Instead he's like, oh well, this happened because I was bored. Oh well, this happened because it was I was 2 steps ahead, like that sort of thing. It comes off as cringe to me.
So I agree, but what I mean by the real Twiggy is when the camera's turned off, that's the real Twiggy, right? When the camera's turned off and he's walking around his house and doing what he's doing, that Twiggy I want to see.
The crazy thing is at Fat Camp, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but like he was basically the same. And I think that's true with a lot of people in the LCU. We are the same people. Sometimes it's just turned up by a lot. And the reason why I say that, for example, Grim. I said this to a couple people last night because we were talking about it. Grim on camera, not my cup of tea. Because it's Grim turned up to such an amount that it's overstimulating for me. That's not the type of content that I would consume personally, but that's just because we're different people. For example, I'm pretty sure Grim doesn't even like this type of content because this is not as amped up as he would like it to be, Right. And that's completely fine. So Grim on camera is Grim. It's just Grim times 1,000.
Right.
Me on
Right.
camera is a little different. It's me on camera times like maybe 2, 3, depending on the day.
Okay.
Twiggy, I think that
It's-
Twiggy is much like Grim, where it's Twiggy times 1,000, but it's still Twiggy, if that makes sense.
Okay. That's good.
The thing that made me uncomfy is that it seems the way that he's been acting is that it seems like he went to fat camp to observe and to look at like how people act and who people are and blah blah blah, and take that in to use it against people later on. That's what it felt like with the way that he's been acting recently, and I don't like that stuff.
No, I don't like that either.
Because for
Yeah.
me, it's like, okay, well, this was an opportunity for me to meet people and like know what they're like off camera. But I wouldn't chalk this up to who this person is, because it's still a different environment, right? And
True.
even if I notice you do something that I don't like, I'm just gonna be like, okay, well,
Yeah.
who cares? Who cares? Because it's none of
Whatever.
my business. Yeah, I'm not
It's not hurting me.
It's not
It's
hurting,
not hurting
me.
me.
Exactly. So like I'll take that, I'll like put it in the back of my brain in a vault, and I'm never gonna let that out unless I'm talking to another host that probably experienced the same thing, and we'll talk about it. But I'm not going to use that against the person and be like, this is just an example, by the way. But I'm not gonna use like Twiggy, what did he do? Twiggy doing some random shit, and I'll be like, Twiggy's now a horrible person, and you guys should think he's a horrible person, and don't talk to this person, and don't support this person. Never, because
No.
one situation does not make a person, right? It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I don't like that shit. Don't like it.
I agree.
But in general,
agree.
Fat Camp happened a while ago. Fat Camp has changed the course of the LCU so drastically. Now we have
really has.
this new season of LCU, and there has been so many changes in the first day. And how many days has it been? Probably like a couple weeks, a couple weeks or so, and we're already reverting back the changes. So let's talk about some of the changes. We already talked about Grim and Nightmare being back together. Perfect. That's the
And
way that
that's-
it's supposed to be. They're going back on test, back in their original time. So I think that's 2 a.m. and that's starting today. So if you want to tune in to the regular test, the way that it's supposed to be, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nerds has been looking at the 12 a.m. time slot for a while. Ozzy was there. There's a Roxy. Hi, Roxy.
Hey guys,
Hey, Roxy. Good morning.
how you doing, Wonder Woman?
Good. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm alright. Usually, I watch the show every morning. I love listening to Ken, Beans, the coffee, the news. Guys, where's Ken?
Ken has some internet issues. I don't know what's happened, but it seems like his internet went out. So we're just having
Yeah.
a fun little girl chat about the LCU and everything that's happened. Just to give you a quick little rundown, Twiggy and Wonder Woman are a little bit of a clashing relationship. Twiggy has said a lot of things about you apparently as well. All the
I know, trust me.
changes. Yeah, all the changes that happened in general, but you hopped in and I feel like you have a lot to say.
Well, I do. I have a lot to say. I wanted to come up and talk about it with Ken because there's a couple things I want to talk about. Ken, guys, this fucking show sucks without him. Get fucking Ken back up here. I love you, ladies, but you guys fucking suck. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's true. So I do miss my Ken. Ken and I. This is why I didn't like the whole situation. And this is why I don't like the whole situation of like whenever it first happened. I like you as an intern. 100%. You as an intern, I'm down. But when it came to like just being thrown different things, because at one point I think everybody's in chat saying like, here we go, it's fake, Keem sent her. I'm so glad I don't have to say it, guys. You already know. But yeah, so in general, that was weak. Throw some more shit at me. Come on. That's all you gotta say. Ken not being here sucks. I'm pretty sure. Let me egg this on a little bit. Okay? Am I doing good? Well, wait.
Go Beans.
Lady
Go
Nerd
Beans.
Artist
Go
super
Beans.
chatted
Go
$20.
Beans.
Boot
Whoop,
Roxy,
whoop.
devilish face emoji. The pics are in the main chat. Tired of her acting like a victim, get her off.
So, Lady Nerd
Thank
Artist
you.
with the 20. Thank you so much, Lady Nerd Artist. Boot Roxy, devil emoji. The pics are in the main chat. Tired of her acting like a victim. Get her off. Thank you so much, Lady Nerd Artist. You've been popping off today. Let me egg
She
on.
gone.
She gone.
She gone.
She gone. Let me egg on this drama. That's all you gotta say. All you gotta say is that I'm bad without Ken. Can we just notice, because you guys love to pocket watch, let's just notice how much money I made today versus the stream that Ken did with Sweet Tea? Because I'm pretty sure they only made like, what, $75? If you say that I need Ken, no, Ken needs me. Let's get that fucking straight from the beginning. So, Roxy, how about you stop being a little bitch? If you want to say something, say it with your full chest. Don't just say something and then drop out, okay? You just want to act like you're so high and mighty because with all the recent drama, we know that you're a liar. We know that you're a faker. I didn't even have to say anything. My whole fucking chat said it for me, bro. You can't just come in here and Keem just put you on this whole thing about like, oh, go tell Beans that she sucks. Bro, I don't even think that you're gonna have a show today. Is Roxy on a show? Or was she replaced by Sweet fucking Tea?
She's not on a show, from what I understand. She's not on a show. Is that
So
right?
far.
Oh,
Aren't
This
you
is why I told
fired?
Keem.
Aren't you
I told
fired?
Keem, oh, don't make me do this shit because everybody's gonna think that every time I have an opinion, they're gonna be like, oh, Keem made her do it. I'm just sitting here. It's bothering me. Wonder Woman, you fucking look like shit in pink. I told you that at Fat Camp. And Beans, please get a hair straightener. Them fucking curls are too tight, baby girl. They are.
tight.
I mean, seriously. You guys
I
are just
love
just
them.
a mess. Bring fucking Ken back. I'm begging you,
I
please.
love
I'm
them.
not watching until he comes back. Fuck this stupid show.
Okay, we don't need you. You've been fired from the LCU, baby. We don't need your view. Kind of like how freaking she's talking about how my curls are tight. I probably have let me be a little bit egotistical. I probably have like probably top 3 best hair in the LCU. Okay, I add a little bit of diversity and spice to the LCU.
Mm-hmm.
There has been no spice at all. Just freaking, if LCU was a spice, it would be fucking flour. I add a little bit of diversity, hair diversity, skin color diversity, a little bit of Espanol going on here and there. In general, she's just mad because she's just wheat flour and nobody uses wheat flour. So get out of the bread. Get out of the kitchen.
Beans, I would exchange my hair for yours. Oh, I love your curls. Oh my gosh. Your
She's just
beautiful,
mad.
thick, luscious curls.
Exactly. The little hair that she has left on her corpse is just dead and lying there like a wet rat, Roxy. The only reason why you started looking better is because you went to Fat Camp and you got some freaking makeup tips from Savage. Do you know how sad that is? You've been living so long and you've been looking like that for that long. You had to get makeup tips. The last time that you probably did your makeup is you rubbing clay on your face, bro. How did Jesus like that shit?
Beans, you learn a lot, girl, since you've been here in the LCU, or it's just coming out.
It's just
I
coming
love
out. It's
this
just coming
this
out.
flavor.
So a lot of people call me like spicy beans whenever I get like this, but this is just me not having a filter because one of the things that I try to real quick.
Kariniru super chatted $50. Good morning, ladies.
Thank you so much, Karini Roo. So that's Karini Roo. She's part of our docket team. She's part of the coffee cult. She is one of my, dare I say, best friends. I also try to steal her away from Dead Score, which is her significant other in the Discord. But she said, "Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Karini." I did notice that Karini sent me a picture yesterday about her cup. It was very unfortunate. She got her cup in, but there was like one little chip in the cup. So, Karini Roo, I'm going to do everything possible to make sure that you get another cup and we resolve that because that is not fair to you, right? She was so excited to get her cup. She is a very prominent member of the cafe. She loves watching us. She loves donating. So that's like the least that I can do. Make sure that she can get her merch fully intact. But we also have I think this is Bailey from Discord. Bowie Bug for the $4.99, really because I've been admiring Bean's hair since I got here, and Keem told us to come here for Roxy, and I'm memorized by Bean's hair the whole time. Exactly. We don't want dead rat hair. Here she comes again. The
No,
resurrection of Roxy.
Don't misspeak. I am not fired from the LCU. Roxy is the fucking queen on milkers. Get that straight, okay? I don't get fired. Do you get that? Do what I fucking do. Be real instead of this fake fucking stupid. Oh my god, what perfume are you wearing today? And maybe you'll fucking go somewhere. Then 5 fucking members watching you at a time. This show is a fucking joke. Bring Ken back.
Bring Ken back.
Well,
I do agree because exactly, Ken here is a treat. I'm not going to lie and say I wouldn't want Ken here. I prefer Ken here. I'd rather him run OBS so I can just talk shit. I can have my full brain power going in to just going off on that lovely face you have, Roxy. And I hate going after looks, but she wants to get down and dirty. I can get down and dirty with some pigs too. I already got down and dirty with the pig Becky. I can get down and dirty with the pig Roxy this time. So
you got no fear, Beans.
I don't.
Fear.
I don't. Because, like, the thing is, so I know that queens and milkers have bigger audiences, but Jesus Christ, I'm not afraid of their audience. That's the thing. I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I've already mentally prepared myself to receive that hate, you know? I've battled it out with Keemstar himself, and I got trashed in the Reddit. I got trashed in the chat. I got trashed on my own show, and I don't give a fuck because guess what? I can press this button right now, turn off my computer, and go outside and touch some grass. That's something that some of you guys should learn. Maybe the Crypt Keeper, Roxy, should learn a couple things, and she should get out of that fucking coffin of hers and go outside because she looks like she needs some vitamin D in more ways than one, honey boo boo child.
Honey boo boo child.
So we also have Chromagato with the $5. Roxy acts like the one customer in cafe that says, if you don't do this, then I'm never coming back. And the barista is thinking internally, you promise?
I love that. That's a really great way of putting it. If Roxy was a customer who came into the local cafe, she might be ushered out. She might come in and cause a bit of stir and say, sorry, the customers don't want you in here. You're disturbing the customers. Please leave the building.
Exactly. Please leave the building. Nobody cares, okay? We're the barista that you come in, you're like, can I talk to your manager? And we basically turn around, right? We turn around and put on a hat and say, how can I help you? I'm the manager. I run shit. You're coming into my cafe. You think that I care about what your opinion is? Get the fuck out. We don't need your money because we have other people that are willing to actually, you know, give memberships, give super chats. You're not doing anything for me. You think coming in here, my viewers went up, what, by 5 because you came in here? That's the same thing with your fucking show, Roxy. You think that you're the queen of milkers? Anybody that think milkers, think of Pirate Flag, Savage, her accent. There is nothing that you have brought to milkers other than your scripted fucking content. And you don't even know how to do that well, right? Get some acting lessons and try to work on your yes ands because no, that's all you're doing. No. Everybody, Roxy can be so easily replaced. I think that's why she's being replaced with Sweet Tea. Out of all people. Out of all people, yes, 100%. Out of all people, you're being replaced with Sweet Tea. Do you know how, like, ego shattering that is? Somebody that's new that was working off of, like, Obama internet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, well.
You know what? Let me see what's going off in the Discord. Let me see. Is there anybody that would like to chime in? Sorry. Let's see. If anybody wants to hop into members waiting and just talk shit, then by all means.
I just want to say to you, Beans, I'm so proud of you for continuing on to learn about the boxing. You're still going to the gym with Grim. You haven't given up. You're still doing it. I'm proud of you. Hey, do you mind if you could, I don't know if it's okay, do you mind teaching me, you know, just showing what you've learned? Have you learned some forms of how to hold the gloves or how to... Or not really. Are you more in cardiac?
Oh, real quick.
Lily Musai super chatted $20. Hello, lovely ladies.
That's Lily Musai. Thank you, Lily Musai. I haven't seen her in a a while. Lily Musai with the $20. Hello, lovely ladies. Hello, Lily Musai. We love to see you here in the cafe cult.
Hi.
But
Is that for actually that's for a later date, right? Because you're going to be filming it, right? And putting it up as content for members only?
yes, so actually, whenever you were talking about Twiggy, I was going to mention I did reach out to Twiggy because Twiggy is probably one of the only hosts that really knows about cameras and stuff. So I did ask him, like, hey, what's a good vlogging camera that I should get that is like in my budget? And he did recommend me one or two that I am looking at, and hopefully I can get that and film some content. Because I really want to show, this is like the top thing, I really want to show people how far Grim has come, because he can punch harder than a motherfucker. I don't understand where he got all that power from. It's very weird to see him like in this sort of era or like energy, because he's a very passive person. I've never seen him like super angry or like punching stuff. So
Right.
seeing all that power come out of him, I'm like, oh shit, like nobody mess with this dude because they're going to be dead. But yeah, me,
Can I say too, Beans?
mm,
Grim's had a haircut. I noticed it yesterday on Aussie. It looks amazing.
he did get a haircut. He shaved his beard. He has like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like the mustache. If he just cuts off like the ends, it would look so much better. I don't like the handlebar look. He got a haircut. It's like a crew cut. This is what he told me. I don't care about hair stuff because, as you can tell, I pretty much just put water and product in my hair. But so he got a crew cut because he says he's trying to look like what was it, like Tom Cruise or something from this one movie.
Ooh.
I don't know. But it was so funny. It was so funny. Do you like the haircut, Beans? I like the haircut. I would prefer the haircut with the beard that he had, but this is my thing. My whole mentality is if you have a long beard or like, the way that he had it, just trim it, like make it maintained and then have short hair. But if you're going to have like long-ish hair, you should have like a short beard or like a goatee or like just a mustache. That's my mentality. Cuz it's like balance, right? You got to balance this with this or
Yeah.
this with that. But I don't hate
I
it.
think Grim looks amazing. I think he looks amazing. I think maybe the mustache, yeah, like you're saying. I mean, he's your man, but yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe a bit more of a younger looking mustache. I don't know, but I still think he looks amazing. You know what? When you look back at what Grim used to look like, he had really long hair, really long beard. He has transformed into something totally different from when he started in
He looks like a
LCU.
functioning member of society and not someone that Roxy dated when she was in her 20s, which is the caveman era. But yeah, so he looks fantastic right now. It was so funny because yesterday he wore like this like army green shirt and shorts to boxing, and I was basically calling him like GI Joe the entire time because that's what he looked like to me. And even our boxing coaches, they're pretty young dudes. They're younger than us. I think the younger one is like 21 or something. But he was looking at Grim and he's like, is this your first time here? And he's like, dude, it's me. And he was like, oh shit, I didn't recognize you. And like the entire time is just hazing. But yeah, I think,
It's cool.
oh, we
He
have
looks amazing.
we have Ash in chat saying, I did not like the beard, ha ha ha, but you're his GF, so he should grow the beard back. I think he's gonna try. He's gonna try to grow the beard back. He feels more comfortable with like his face covered up, especially his butt chin. Because I used to make fun of his butt chin a lot when we were in like high school and stuff. But yeah.
Must be a big shock for him though. Like I'll tell you what, when my dad, right, he had a mustache when I was, from the day I remember till a teenager, right? He always had a mustache. And then one day I came home from school and it was totally gone. And I freaked out. I was like, who is this man? I felt like my dad had like a swollen top lip and I freaked out. I was like, who is this person? Change, right? Just not having something there and then gone, they look completely different, right? But he must be feeling it different because of not having that hair there. It must be so much cooler, right?
Yeah, so the thing about Grimm is that whenever he gets nervous, sometimes he like fidgets with his beard or his mustache. Now that he can't do that, I think he went back to like biting his nails and stuff. But when it comes to yeah, that's his bad habit. My bad habit is sometimes like biting my lip. Sometimes people would notice that on stream. But when it comes to boxing, going back to boxing, I like boxing. I truly do. Even though I feel like I'm dying every single time that I have to run a mile and then like do all this cardio. The gym that we go to is hot because there's no AC. There's just like one very slowly turning fan on the ceiling and like open garage doors basically. And it's Florida, so like the sulfur in the ground sometimes like leaks out and it's like super bad smelling. But other than that, it's a very nice experience because I feel so much stronger. I'm very motivated
Yeah.
that way. I like lifting weights because as soon as I lift a weight that I couldn't before, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
when it comes to boxing, I don't want to show my chest because of, the anxiety leaching out into my skin. Um but
Are
when
you
it
noticing different shapes on your arms and stuff, Beans? Like, yeah.
the reason why I
Oh,
like boxing is that I already did like some fitness things before, but when it comes to boxing, we've noticed more changes far quicker doing boxing than we have with other sports. For example, Grim really likes rock climbing. He really likes it because it's more like mental. It's a mental
mm,
thing. You have to figure out like, oh, I have to put my foot here. I have to grab over here. But for me, it's like I want to see change in my body. Like something that I really want to build. It's very easy for me to build arms. For example, like I have more definition here.
yeah.
I'm very flat right now because I haven't been drinking a lot of water and I haven't been eating as much carbs, so it's flattening out the muscle a little bit more. But whenever I am
Wow.
fuller in my muscle,
Yeah.
this pops out way more. Like
Yeah.
this pops out. You can already see some definition here. I don't know if it's going to show. You can see some definition coming in here. And we've only been doing this for like 1 or 2 weeks, right? So this is a lot of change in that short amount of time. I also have
Yeah.
abs, which like I haven't had abs since marching band. But
Wow.
yeah, so in general, I like more boxing. I like more physical things that will show change. Grim is more like the functional sort of strength, which is rock climbing. So rock climbing, you get more
Mm.
grip strength, you get more strength when it comes to like your arms and stuff, but you won't see a lot of definition unless you go for a long period of time and you do a lot of calisthenics. Real quick,
Mm.
we do have the Bailey bug. Thank you so much, Bailey bug. She just became a cash cow. Thank you so much, Bailey. It seems like a lot of people do like the whole like energetic, but also shit talking, but also like calm
Yeah.
chat going on.
Yes.
Tune in next time where I talk more shit about Roxy.
Hey, she hasn't come back, so maybe she got the message, Beans.
She hasn't come back because she doesn't have anything to fucking say. It's been a trend. Beans definitely gives
Hey.
marching band energy, ha ha, respectively. What's that supposed to mean? I used to be color guard captain, okay? You know the spinning flags, and don't mention that Family Guy episode, I swear to God.
Hey, Shockmouse is in waiting. Is live on air. Does he want to
Is
pop
he?
up?
Oh, wait. No,
Yes.
he's on live on air, I think because he's preparing for his show.
Oh, what time?
They still have 30 minutes, but I think maybe he's there just, maybe getting ready.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Beans.
You're all good.
So you were in. You used to do the flag,
Mhm.
and did you used to twirl it and everything? We don't have that in New Zealand. Wow.
Really? I would
We
think
don't
that
have
you guys
that.
would
Yeah.
because it's like hotter climate and being outside and all that
No.
other stuff. No. Interesting.
We don't do that. No.
Yeah, so I used
If you were in a
to
beauty, or would that be your talent? It's like your talent.
I guess so. Only because I think singing is too plain and overused, and that's something that could set me apart from the competition when it comes to, other people. Like not everybody can twirl a flag. not everybody can throw a rifle, right? And a lot of people don't understand that whenever you do stuff like that, you're also like doing some nerve damage on your hands. So yeah, some people don't like the idea of not having a lot of feeling in your hands and stuff like that. Proud band dork. Yes, proud band dork. I mean, I did color guard in Girl Scouts, but that's about it. Do you have the redirect
What's
to Aussie
that?
Beans? Excuse me?
What is crowd guard or what is
Color
that?
guard?
That
Color guard
yeah.
is the spinning flag stuff.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Which is very
Oh, cool.
confusing because there's color guard in that aspect of marching band, but color guard can also be ROTC, you know, whenever people want to go into the military after high school. Sometimes there's like this little club that you can be involved in, and you can earn some ranks doing that before you even get to whatever branch you want to get to. So in ROTC, you can also do something called color guard, but usually that just means that you hold the flag while they do like the national anthem during football.
Oh,
Versus
wow.
us that is covered in glitter, have like these weird outfits on, sweating profusely on the football field while we're, you know, being exhausted and stuff like that. Somebody
You
mentioned
guys
the
go
redirect.
all out in America. You go all out in America. I love it.
Well, I think it's because they really try to push kids having outlets that have to deal with health. So not only are you building a sense of like community and family and you're basically forcing kids to be social, which is not a bad thing. But it's also something, you know, for the body. Like one of my fittest moments was being in marching band because every day we would run around the track like 2 or 3 times before even starting, right? And we're outside, we're sweating all the time. You have to do we did roll step. There's like different forms of marching, but we did roll step because it's better for the knees and the ankles and stuff. But whenever they would do drills, basically you would roll step and then they would make us sit there for a while. And that would engage your core and build your calf muscles and everything. So it was a very nice exercise that didn't seem like exercise, if that makes sense. And I think that's why
Yeah.
I liked fitness since the beginning.
Yes. And you know what, Beans, as well, me as a mother, you know, my son celebrated his 18th birthday on the 4th of May. So
Congratulations.
he's 18 now. But one thing that I'd like to share with everybody, I mean, people might know this, but one thing that another parent told me is the best thing you can do for your children is to teach them as many skills as you can. Like give them opportunities so that they can learn different skills, because the skills are the things that it's the best thing that you can give your child is different skills and learning them. How and also if you're raising a child that's in a teenage years, right? Get them busy doing sports, whatever, because it keeps them out of trouble. If you can do that for your teenagers or your children, keep them super busy because they're not getting into naughty business. So
Exactly. I think that sports in high schools are very important because you're social, you're keeping fit, you're keeping busy. Because if you just go to school and then go home, do your homework, it gets pretty boring. And sometimes
boring.
kids can, you know, find a different outlet. And some of those outlets may not be the best for their developmental. But Luna L. Faye is in chat saying, I do CrossFit every time I cross for food in my mouth. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. I don't like CrossFit much. Because I feel like the way that they do pull-ups is very weird. If you ever saw somebody do CrossFit and pull-ups,
Yep.
They do like this thing where they're kind of like lunging towards a pole, and it makes me very anxious. And I'm always thinking they're going to tear some sort of ligament in their arms. Not my cup of tea.
I did one for CrossFit class, so 155 pounds, right? And one of the instructors said, you need to come over to CrossFit and do a class. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go to CrossFit. I just about died in that class and I never went back. It just wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing at all.
I think that's why I like boxing so much, because boxing is different forms of fitness in one. So, for example, I'm doing a lot of cardio. I'm doing a lot of, strength training. I'm doing a lot of like functional fitness, which is like the punching part, right? So in general, I feel like it's a very rounded way of doing fitness. Because before, if you told me to run a mile, I'll tell you go fuck yourself because I hate cardio. Cardio is like my number one enemy. Not only because like I think recently I've been diagnosed or whatever you want to say. I'm just like, I don't know. I hate going to the doctor and them saying like you have something wrong with you, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not taking pills. I'm gonna try to figure this out myself. So my doctor recently said that I have bradycardia, so my heart rate is lower than the regular population, and whenever
Right.
you're doing something like running, you can get out of breath very easily. So the way
Okay.
that I'm trying to combat that, because I don't like taking medications and stuff, I had a lot of visceral like side effects when it comes to taking prescriptions. I just
Right.
try to run a little bit every day to get better. So before I
Yeah.
wasn't able to do a mile. Now I can run a mile, kind of consecutively. I have to do like a little pause, like maybe 2 or 3 pauses while running the mile. But at a pace of like 6 miles per hour, I think that's pretty good.
That's really good. That's awesome. Do you want to know what mine is?
What is yours?
Do you want to know what mine is? I can run, I can walk for miles, all of that's fine. But do you know what mine is? And it's stupid because I can do it. Mine is, I'm like Kung Fu Panda. Stairs.
Stairs. So you hate the Stairmaster.
I hate the Stairmaster. I mean, it's like, I have to, all these stairs that I have to walk up. I'm like, stairs. But I can do it. It's no problem. I just hate the thought of walking upstairs.
So this is kind of embarrassing for me. I don't like the Stairmaster as well, but for a different reason. So I've always been afraid of elevators and escalators.
Right.
I wouldn't say afraid anymore. I think I've gotten over the fear of it, but now like I'm just anxious whenever I get on them. So whenever I'm on a Stairmaster, I have to like this is probably the terrible thing. You shouldn't do this, but I always have to look down and like really imagine myself
Yeah.
stepping on every single step because I feel like I'm going to trip and make a fool of myself, or like just the general fear I have with escalators. Like I just don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like
Yes.
escalators. So not only is my heart rate up because of my exercising, but also because of my fear. So it's like double heart acceleration going on. And I
Right.
need to vomit every single time. But that's very interesting.
Yeah. It's like when there's a fire alarm or whatever, and you got to walk down a million stairs, right? It's like, stairs. I'm like Kung Fu Panda. Stairs.
Stairs. A lot of people don't like stairs. That's why there's some people in chat saying that they started different exercises. We have Split Fries Media saying I started kettlebell workout. Kettlebells are really nice. They're very versatile. We have One Buff Weeb, the fittest person in the LCU, I think. That reminds me of the time I almost overdosed on my pre-workout. Ooh, have you ever tried pre-workout?
I have. Yeah, I have.
I can't do it.
Have you?
I
Oh,
have. I
why?
have. Because I don't know if I started with something too strong, or I started, without the idea of what pre-workout is. And I got so itchy. I felt like a crackhead. If you ever wanted to feel what a crackhead feels like, go on pre-workout. Because I took that shit and then I was just in the gym the entire time like, what can I lift? What can I lift? What am I doing here? The entire time my heart was accelerated. I did not feel like I had like clear mentality. I felt itchy. Beans coming for the most fit title. Absolutely not. I think I would have to do like some sort of gear or like some sort of steroids in order to be as fit as Buff Weeb. Plus, you wouldn't want to see like me being 5'3", super muscular, and just this face. Okay, I would look like Inuyasha or I can't think of the name. The guy from Demon Slayer,
Demons.
the one that has like the boar. I'm blanking right now. Inosuke. I would look like Inosuke if I did that shit. He's very muscular, but he has like very feminine and nice hair, so he kind of looks like a girl.
Oh,
That is not
right.
my style, okay? But Sterling,
So you're at the gym and you had that pre-workout and you were itching and you were, oh my goodness, has that had an effect on you like that? Wow.
Sterling puts it best where she says, "I don't like the ones that feel like you have ants under your skin. You literally feel like ants are crawling under your skin whenever you take pre-workout like that." There are other types where it's less stimulating. There's a lot of people that like those. But yeah, I tried it once and I'm just like, fuck that shit. I'll just drink my coffee and go to the gym. Or like the good thing about
Nice.
me and fitness is I feel tired. I don't want to go. I absolutely hate it. But as soon as I start working out, I want to do it more. It's
Yeah.
so funny because that's like the difference that Grim and I have. Grim, I feel bad for him because he doesn't even want to do boxing anymore. He's like, why am I even doing this? There is no fight going on. So why do we have to do boxing? We can just go back to rock
Oh,
climbing. But it's like,
yeah.
you're doing so well. And I feel like this is a good, like, all around form of fitness.
Hmm.
But Grim,
Yeah.
when it comes to recovery time, he'll do push-ups and lifting and boxing. And it would take him like 30 minutes to recover from all of that.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, but I can do
Wow.
push-ups and lifting and all that jazz, and then like you give me 10 minutes, maybe even 5, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, let's go
Fine.
again. And I'm like smiling. It was
Yeah.
really funny because as soon as we were leaving the gym, there's a lady at the front desk. She's so nice. But she looks at us and she's like, "How was your workout?" And Grim is like slumped over, like walking out, and he's like, it was good. And then I'm over here like behind him, like super happy, smile on my face, eating my protein bar, like it was great, you know. And she just looks at us and she's like, you two are too different. So I think it's just genetics in general, and this is going to be a really bad joke, but he's like, oh well, how come like you recover faster and you're so good at this? And I'm like, my ancestors were in the platano fields. You know, your ancestors were the ones telling my ancestors what to do. So my genetically and, you know, from my lineage,
You're hardworking. You're
hardworking,
hardworking.
more fitness versus, you
Yeah.
know, your more European side, the Spaniards and all that jazz. So it's a little different. It's a little different. But in general,
Good.
he is getting better and better when it comes to boxing. He's getting better and better when it comes to fitness. I think so far he's lost a lot of weight. He went from like
I noticed yesterday. He's looking really trim. It's great. How much has he lost?
he
What has he
was
lost?
I'm pretty sure he was like 205, something around there, 205, and he's cut down to like 195, 194, something like
Wow.
that, in the span of like
10 pounds?
yeah,
10
and it's
pounds?
only been like what, two weeks. That's more than I can do. I can barely gain weight.
Wow. Yeah. But you know what? That's awesome. He must be so happy that he's under that too. He's 195. He's got to keep doing it, Beans. You've got to keep doing it together. Honestly, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I like doing it because so far it's the only. I don't want to say it's the only way that we get to connect nowadays, but yeah, it kind of is. So I barely get to see him, but at least us working out together, it's like the hour / like hour and a half where we get to see each other, and like working
That
out together, going through like a struggle together. it's just so nice. It's like, oh, well, I'm here for you and you're here for me and we'll motivate each other. Like it's not quality time like we usually do, because what we usually do is just sit home, lay in bed and watch anime together or play a video game together, right? But this is like a new form that's really going to bring us closer, I think. And I
Oh
find that
yeah,
nice.
for sure. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that stuff, Beans. I love it.
You
Love it.
sometimes you need to tell me to stop because I will overshare. I will overshare. I will tell you
No, I
how
love it.
sweaty I get whenever maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but Ken always makes fun of me because he's like, what anxiety? What anxiety? You don't have anxiety. And I'm like, Ken, you don't understand. Whenever I sit here in this chair and the camera turns off, I'm very sweaty. I'm extremely sweaty. That's the type of
Really?
that's the type of nervousness I get. It's gotten a little bit better, but I am a very sweaty person when it gets to like me being nervous. So me in the car, I sweat. Me sitting here, I sweat. Me being around people that I don't usually know, I sweat. I'm a very sweaty person, and then me being around people that I don't know in this sweaty, hot gym that only has garage doors open and one slowly turning ceiling fan, I sweat a lot. And people look at me and they're
Oh
like,
wow.
how do you have so much water stored in your body? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I like soak it in because I rarely drink water too. I'm not much of a water drinker.
Wow.
I
Mhm.
usually force myself to drink a lot of water. Do you drink a lot of water?
I do. I do. It's the best. It's the Isn't that what they recommend? 2 liters a day of water? Yeah.
Usually. So for me, because I'm a small person and I do some fitness, there are like some calculators out there where you can put your age, weight, how much fitness you do, and they tell you how much water you should intake. So for example,
Mhm.
this is, I have some times here, but this is a 32-ounce water bottle. I love this thing. It keeps my
Okay.
water cold. But I need to drink apparently, you can tell my little cafe and rewind sticker. The only
Oh,
two good shows of
cute.
the LC. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to start drama. But I'm supposed to have 4 of these, 4 like whole water bottles of 32 ounces. I don't want to do the math right now.
Mhm. The only problem with drinking lots of water is you pee a lot. You pee. But if you island like Rarotonga, Fiji, Tonga, places like that, Tahiti, I tell you what, you can drink so much water and you'll never pee because you just sweat it through your pores because it's so hot. It's so hot. It's fantastic. You hardly pee, but you drink a lot.
Well, for example, something that a lot of people don't realize is not only do you have to drink water, but you have to replenish your electrolytes. That's very important.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
in the earlier stages of cafe, a lot of people would see me like with this green bottle and like me pouring it into my mouth. That's salt because I used to suffer a lot from migraines, and something that would help me is just like getting that salt in every once in a while. So, electrolytes very important if you're drinking water, and if you're sweating, have some electrolytes afterwards because you're replenishing that salt. That's why whenever you like lick your skin and stuff, you
Yeah.
feel a little salty because that's, the electrolytes coming out. Bailey is cheering me on, saying that anxiety can lead to oversharing. Hee hee. That's very true. But it is 11:52 right now. There is Aussie coming up, if I'm not mistaken, with the new schedule.
And who's on Aussie? Oh, who's on? Remind me who's on Aussie today?
So, if
Beans.
I'm
It's
not mistaken, I heard that it's Shockmouth. Who
Tech
is it?
Protect,
Yes, Tech
Tech
Protect,
Protect?
Shockmouth, and who else?
Cedar Ray. Is it Cedar Ray?
Is it Cedar Ray? I thought that Rostov was going to be back on Aussie, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
They were going back and
Well,
forth in the Discord.
Well, if Rastov's back on, I'm sure that all the Aussie fans will be very happy to have Rastov back on Aussie. So that's awesome.
Very happy because like I said before, Grim having his form of content and being so used to test and the test audience, being taken out of that and put on a completely different show with people that might not find your form of content their cup of tea, it was very difficult for him. I did have a lot of pity for him when it came to that.
He's going to be
Andrew,
back in the $3 million studio.
very true. But Andrew said Keem punished Rostov to go on Ozzy. But Tugboat 420 says Zeta, Tech, and Shockmouth.
Thank you.
That's
Rastov got punished? Rastov got punished? Okay.
apparently. So yeah, so apparently that's what's going on. Ozzy, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on today. I'm definitely going to tune in. Are you going to tune in?
Absolutely. And actually, Rastov, as a punishment as well, he has to, for every donation, he has to say something back to the person that gives the donation, right?
Oh, you cut out real quick. What was that part? He has to say something.
There's a donate for the next week. Rastov has to, for every donation that comes in, he has to insult the person back for every donation for a whole week. So he's doing all right. He's
Really?
trying
I
so
think
hard.
it's because everybody thinks that Rostov is like a fake version of like niceness. I think that's just Rostov. I think there's people that just they'll always be positive or they'll always try to have a connection with other people, and that's not to a fault of their own, right? That's just how they are. So I guess they're trying to bring out more of that like argumentative just
Yeah.
conflict version of Rostov. And
Yep.
I wonder how that's going to go. He has to be mean to his supporters. LOL.
Yeah. But he's got to do it. I think he has to understand when he's doing it, it's, it's for fun, not to outright insult somebody and be mean, right? I think he's just got to what do you think? Oh my gosh, Beans, look at your hair. Oh gosh,
Oh,
I'm
my
so
hair.
jealous.
This one, the one that Roxy says that I need a straightener for. There is going to be a day where I'm going to straighten my hair so everybody can see what that looks like. But I love my hair. My hair is very good to me
I
sometimes.
just looked at you and you pushed your hair forward and I'm like, damn.
But real quick, Test is back at 2 a.m. Nerds is at midnight. Yes, very true. And right after this show is Ozzy. Now, there were some people saying that this is going to be very difficult for Shockmouth and for Rostov because apparently not for tech support, but I mean for tech protect, but for Shockmouth and Rostov because apparently like it's 4 a.m. or something over there whenever they go live.
Yeah. It's 4 a.m. here, so that would be right. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness. So it's not going to be easy for them. There's probably going to be, if I were to, have my little predictions of the LCU, there's going to be another time slot war. So for example, Nerds was going after Ozzy because Ozzy had 12 and they had 2, even though it doesn't make that much of a difference. So Nerds wanted 12, they got 12 because they had double the earnings. So
Right.
yep, and then Ozzy had to be moved to 12 because Grimm has a lot of limitations when it comes to his schedule. So he has to be at one of the later time slots. So they're going back to 2 a.m. Ozzy's going to 12.
Right. We'll see how that goes. But you know what, Beans? Shockmouth and Rastov don't have anything on me because I was up at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. So if I could do 2 a.m., they could do 4.
Exactly. So you are a very determined individual. You're here. You're bright and still as sparkly as always. That's why in general, like I feel like even though this is going to be very hard for you, this is going to be very hard. It's very hard to change your whole schedule. But I just want to appreciate and admire that you're still yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're
Thank
still
you,
yourself.
Beans.
And I think and hope that can still go for Shockmouth and Rostov, because if Rostov, I don't know, they haven't talked about this too much, but I don't know if Rostov has to still do Locale Live and Aussie. If he has to
Right.
do both, he's gonna have to figure out when he's going to sleep, because Aussie's at 4 a.m. for him, and then
Yeah.
Locale is
No. Locale Live?
Mhm.
Locale Live is at 8. 8. Is that right? 8
yeah, it's at 8
8 o'clock.
8 Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m.
Yeah, but for your
Mm.
time, that would be
Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 3. 3. It would be 3 hold on. 8 p.m. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the
3
morning.
a.m. So
Yeah.
4
Would it be 3 a.m.? Hold on. So 8, yeah, because we are, so 8 p.m., because I am 7 hours behind. Oh, no, so it'd be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 p.m.
1 p.m. So it is
Yeah.
from 4 a.m., do a show for 2 hours, then he has a break, then it's going to be 1. It's going to be very confusing for him. It's not going to be a very good time. And I know he also has a relationship that has been a little bit rocky because of this whole LCU stuff. But thankfully, he doesn't have another job, because I know Rostov has, his own personal issues with his back and things like that. So at least he has like some form of income, and so far he still has a smile on his face. So Rostov, I do wish you the best. Hopefully doing 2 shows is not too bad for you. I do hope to see Wonder Woman with the full ensemble of Cafe tomorrow. Ken Bean's Wonder Woman, because now you're our intern.
Yes.
And hopefully we can get back to a new normal.
Yes. Sounds good. I thank you so much I've really enjoyed today. I hope everyone else has. I just want to give a huge shout out to Lady Nerd Artist. I think she's been the biggest donator today. So big shout out to Lady Nerd Artist and everybody else who's donated too. And Beans, it's been a pleasure being on today's show. I've had so much fun and I can't wait to be back tomorrow with Ken.
Exactly. So
And
let's just
yourself.
give a little clap for Lady Nerd Artist for being so vocal today. Thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow and continue on into Lolcow Aussie just to see what that dynamic is about. Shockmouth, Tech Protect, and Zeta Ray. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good day.